A survivor of the Qiqihar Gymnasium collapse lamented, "All good friends are gone," making many people cry. Toyota reportedly laid off factory workers at its joint ventures in China. The boss of a Ponzi scheme based on short videos ran away with more than $14 billion. Xi Jinping will attend the Chengdu University Aid's opening ceremony, and the white paper revolution is scheduled to resume. It's all covered in today's China Truths. A survivor of the Qiqihar Gymnasium collapse lamented, "All good friends are gone," making many people cry. A photo of the volleyball team involving the collapse of the number 34 middle school gymnasium that was shared on July 24 drew a lot of attention. The source of this photo was a teammate who had been suspended due to an injury. The girl expressed her emotions on social media, stating, "All my good friends are gone." The poignant contrast between the bright smiles captured in the photo and the somber reality of the situation evoked a profound sense of sorrow among people on the internet. They expressed their grief and disbelief, emphasizing the suddenness and magnitude of the disaster. Various videos surfaced on Weibo, showing citizens coming together despite the inclement weather to pay their respects to the victims. By evening, the open space in front of the school's name had transformed into a poignant sea of flowers. In addition to floral tributes, a significant number of citizens adorned the scene with electronic candles and arranged flickering lights as a poignant symbol of commemoration. Alongside the physical expressions of grief, many netizens utilized online platforms to leave heartfelt messages expressing their sympathy. Many people openly denounced the government's perceived inaction and called for severe accountability. As of approximately 8 p.m. on July 24, news about the collapse of the Qiqihar 34 middle school gymnasium had garnered the attention of more than 890 million individuals, with over 110,000 people leaving messages of condolence and concern. According to China's firefighting news, the gymnasium that collapsed encompassed a construction area of approximately 1,200 square meters, featuring a grid structure and a concrete roof. Local netizens' reports and images revealed that the gymnasium had long been in a state of disrepair and neglect. During the incident, a comprehensive building was under construction in the immediate vicinity, and a substantial quantity of bagged materials was stored on the roof of the gymnasium. Subsequent reports from Chinese media indicated that those bags were perlite, a thermal insulation material, on the gymnasium's roof. Regrettably, the heavy rain caused the perlite to swell and gain weight, leading to the roof's overloading and subsequent collapse. As per the construction announcement displayed at the comprehensive building site, the project was designed by Zhongye Tiangong Group, with Heilongjiang Jiamei Construction serving as the construction unit. According to the official report, at the time of the accident, the gymnasium was occupied by 2 coaches and 17 players from the school's women's volleyball team. Among them, 4 individuals managed to escape on their own, while 15 were trapped. Out of the trapped players, 4 were in stable conditions without life-threatening injuries, but tragically, 11 lost their lives. The victims were members of the school's women's volleyball team, all distinguished students selected from various grade levels. They had recently achieved the runner-up position in the provincial competition and were expected to be on vacation at home, but were still present at the gymnasium for training under the guidance of their coaches. Following the incident, videos surfaced online showing the parents of the victims expressing concerns about the authorities' handling of the situation. Specifically, they questioned the delayed notification to parents about their children's condition while noting that a significant number of police and officials were dispatched to the scene to maintain stability. Initial reports from officials, which were released nearly 6 hours after the incident, focused solely on the number of people rescued, leaving other crucial information undisclosed. A heartbreaking scene was witnessed in the hospital as parents of the students gathered, seeking to identify the bodies of their loved ones. The hospital's decision not to permit immediate identification led to distressed parents on the verge of emotional collapse. One parent, in a state of grief, recounted receiving the heartbreaking news of their child's demise, describing the challenging circumstances of identifying the bodies as they were disfigured and covered in blood. Amidst the somber atmosphere, other parents expressed uncertainty about the extent of rescue efforts undertaken during the tragic incident. Toyota reportedly laid off factory workers at its joint ventures in China. Toyota Motor Corporation reportedly carried out layoffs of factory workers at its joint ventures in China, according to statements from 3 workers speaking to Reuters. The affected individuals, who were employed by labor companies and assigned to work at the Guangzhou Automobile Group (GAC) Toyota plant in Guangzhou, were terminated with compensation over the weekend. The exact number of laid-off workers remains undisclosed, and both GAC and Toyota have yet to respond to media inquiries as of Monday. As per information available on GAC Toyota's official website, the plant boasts an annual production capacity of 1 million vehicles and sustains an employee workforce of approximately 19,000 people, manufacturing various models such as the Camry, Levin, and BZ4X. The Chinese government has persisted with a stringent containment policy for combating COVID-19 for almost 3 years, resulting in substantial repercussions for the Chinese economy. As a consequence, consumers have become more frugal in their spending habits and have shifted their focus towards more affordable domestic brands. Data from the China Association of Automobile Manufacturers reveals that Japanese brands, including Toyota, encountered the most significant drop in sales among Chinese automakers during the first half of the current year, with their market share dwindling to 14.9% from nearly 20% in the corresponding period of the preceding year. Meanwhile, sales of Chinese automotive brands dominated the market, accounting for 53% of the total share. Empirical data indicates a continuous decline in the sales of imported cars in China in recent years, with figures plummeting to 880,000 units in 2022. As the year progresses into 2023, this downward trend in imported car sales has persisted, with China's cumulative imports of such vehicles declining by 28% year-on-year in the initial 5 months of the current year. To enhance sales performance and maintain competitiveness, Toyota has made strategic adjustments to its product pricing. In early February, the company implemented a substantial reduction of 15% in the price of its BZ4X model, slated for launch in China in October 2022. The starting price was lowered from 199,800 yuan, approximately $27,800, to 169,800 yuan, approximately $23,600. Despite this pricing maneuver, the impact has been limited, as evidenced by a 9% decline in electric vehicle (EV) sales during the initial 6 months of the year. Toyota's pricing strategy followed a similar move by its peer, Mitsubishi Motors, which recently announced its intention to reduce labor costs at its China joint venture with Guangzhou Automobile Group in a bid to revitalize operations. Mitsubishi Motors chief executive, Takao Kato, stated during an earnings call on Monday that the company has not yet reached an agreement with its local Chinese joint venture on the specifics of the restructuring plan. Production of Mitsubishi's new Outlander model remains indefinitely suspended, and Kato characterized the company's situation in China as dire. Following a peak of over 134,000 vehicles sold in 2019, Mitsubishi experienced a sharp decline in sales, with only 34,500 vehicles sold in 2022. The boss of a Ponzi scheme based on short videos ran away with more than $14 billion. Recent reports have emerged concerning the absconding of Wang Su, the proprietor of Xiaoxu Yuban, with an estimated sum exceeding 100 billion yuan, about $14 billion, which has stirred widespread discussions across various online platforms. Consequently, a substantial assemblage of partners, franchisees, and investors have congregated at the company's premises, only to find the numerous branches of Xiaoxu Yuban throughout the country vacated. This indicates the complete disintegration of Xiaoxu Yuban, which, in essence, was nothing more than a Ponzi scheme exploiting short video clips as a facade for unlawful fundraising activities. In the realm of entrepreneurship, a man named Wang Su hails from Ningde, Fujian, boasting an academic background as a doctor of law and possessing a profound understanding of Chinese law. In March 2021, Wang Su laid the foundations for Beiming Technology Group, anchoring its headquarters in the high-tech park of Minho District, Fuzhou City, Fujian Province. Under the banner of Xiaoshu Yuban, the venture asserts its acquisition of an extensive array of video copyrights, offering entrepreneurs the opportunity to acquire copyright packages at varying prices, ranging from 98,000 to 128,000 yuan, $13,730 to $17,940. Upon procuring these copyright packages, entrepreneurs gain access to a repository of materials that can be harnessed for editing and generating derivative works, which are subsequently uploaded to the Xiaoshu Yuban platform. Following that, Xiaoshu Yuban distributes the videos created by these entrepreneurs through multiple platforms within the network, with the generated earnings going back to the creators. For instance, entrepreneurs who purchase a comprehensive film and television sports package for 128,000 yuan, about $17,940, pledge profits exceeding 18,000 yuan, about $2,520, per month. This distribution process, however, hinges on Xiaoshu Yuban's ability to generate revenue from third-party platforms such as TikTok and Station B, among others. Before providing payment to content creators, Xiaoshu Yuban must obtain profits from these external platforms. Notably, money earned on these video platforms is very volatile, driven by a variety of factors such as video playing volume and advertising placements, resulting in generally low returns. A detailed analysis reveals that achieving 18,000 yuan necessitates approximately 3.6 million views, given an assumed traffic subsidy of 50 yuan for every 10,000 broadcasts. The revenue generated by Xiaoshu Yuban from video content exhibits significant limitations in both scope and stability, despite promising substantial returns to entrepreneurs who invest in copyright packages. Nevertheless, the critical question emerges: how can Xiaoshu Yuban guarantee such high playback rates for videos uploaded by entrepreneurs? It becomes evident that Xiaoshu Yuban's primary source of income solely comprises the sale of copyright packages, signifying that the company first collects funds from entrepreneurs and subsequently returns a portion of these proceeds to them each month. To persuade customers to purchase copyright packages, Xiaoshu Yuban entices them with the promise of high profits, with the shortest payback period advertised as 4 months. As a result, Xiaoshu Yuban is continually reliant on acquiring new customers to support its operations, employing funds from these fresh customers to provide promised benefits to old customers. This is strikingly similar to the characteristics of a Ponzi scam. As the company expands, its operational expenses inevitably escalate, leading to progressively larger fund losses. Despite these implications, Xiaoshu Yuban persists in drawing an increasing number of individuals into its deceptive practices. To expand their deceptive scheme and attract more customers, it becomes imperative for Xiaoshu Yuban to offer increasingly enticing rewards and higher returns. Paradoxically, this strategy inevitably accelerates the eventual collapse of the fraudulent enterprise. Wang Su, as the founder of Xiaoshu Yuban, should be fully aware of the situation. The overall scale of the fund remains uncertain at present, but it is speculated to be in the hundreds of millions, with rumors circulating on the internet suggesting it might even be in the range of hundreds of billions. Anticipating the inevitability of turbulence in this model, Wang Su, the founder of Xiaoshu Yuban, strategically withdrew from the operation. In 2022, he initiated a content export plan and began transferring funds abroad. Following that, Xiaoshu Yuban abruptly mandated real name authentication for entrepreneurs, effectively stalling the withdrawal process for all participants. In reality, the initial entrepreneur who purchased the copyright package indeed managed to recoup their investment within a few months and subsequently achieve profits. This initial success spurred them to swiftly advocate the project to their immediate circle of relatives and friends, resulting in a viral-like propagation of this funding scheme. As a consequence, some entrepreneurs committed substantial sums, reaching millions or even tens of millions of yuan, to acquire copyright packages. Entrepreneurs who had invested substantially now find themselves disillusioned, awakening from what seemed like a promising prospect. Compared to traditional Ponzi schemes, where victims are deceived passively and relinquish their money, Wang Su's scam requires active participation from its targets, compelling them to invest significant effort in video editing while being deceived of their funds. Wang Su's deception primarily targets individuals genuinely seeking entrepreneurial opportunities rather than solely those driven by unbridled greed for financial gain. As a consequence, the most severely impacted victims are the prominent entrepreneurs who have heavily invested in purchasing copyright packages. These entrepreneurs not only incurred losses on their initial investment but also bore the burden of remunerating their employees. Xi Jinping will attend the Chengdu University Aid's opening ceremony, and the white paper revolution is scheduled to resume. In an official media report by the Xinhua news agency, it was stated that on July 24, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chunying disclosed that Xi Jinping would grace the opening ceremony of the 31st Summer University Aid in Chengdu, which is scheduled for July 27 to 28. Furthermore, during this period, Xi Jinping will host a welcoming banquet and engage in relevant bilateral activities with foreign leaders attending the ceremony and visiting China. Due to the ongoing epidemic situation in China, the Chengdu University Aid has faced two postponements. Originally slated for August 16 to 27, 2021, the event's dates were rescheduled to August 18 to 29, and then further postponed to June 26 to July 7, 2022. Presently, the University Aid is finally scheduled to take place in Chengdu from July 28 to August 8. On July 11, Wang Anna, the founder of the overseas Chinese language media Light Media, shared a Twitter message about the Chengdu University Aid white paper revolutionary activity calling post. The post also delineated 5 precautionary measures aimed at alerting participants to prioritize their safety during the event. Furthermore, the post explicitly stated that there is no central organizer for this event, making it a completely decentralized and atomized protest. The event is expected to unfold both online and offline simultaneously. This post has garnered considerable attention, prompting Wu Setzi, the director of the Center for China Studies, a think tank in Taiwan, to assert to Voice of America that the emergence of the White Paper 2.0 movement indicates that discontent within Chinese society persists under the rule of the CCP. However, it cannot be entirely ruled out that this movement might be a manifestation of internal political struggles within the CCP's anti-Xi faction or part of the CCP's internal anti-propaganda efforts to justify the enforcement of internal suppressive measures. Zhang Tianliang, an associate professor from the Humanities Department at Feiyuan University, discussed the potential implications of the upcoming protests in Chengdu in a self-produced media program called Daybreak. While uncertainty surrounds whether these protests will instigate another white paper revolution, Zhang Tianliang highlighted the potential for success in such decentralized, flash mob-style, atomized protests. He contends that this form of protest proves most effective as individuals disperse throughout the streets to engage in atomic protests, thereby forcing the CCP stability maintenance forces to spread out across various locations for supervision. Consequently, the highly organized police structure becomes decentralized, leading to significant challenges within the police command system and other operational aspects. Zhang Tianliang emphasized that a crucial aspect of the protest is that participants not only overcome their fear but also help others overcome their fear of the CCP. At the core of the CCP's apprehension lies its fear of the populace itself, specifically the prospect of a united front of people unyielding to fear. For instance, the tragic fire incident in Urumqi, Xinjiang, occurring in November 2022, ignited protests in more than a dozen cities, including Shanghai, Beijing, Wuhan, and Chongqing. During these demonstrations, participants vocalized political slogans like "Unblock the country," "Step down the Communist Party," "Demand freedom," and "Demand democracy." These events collectively came to be known as the White Paper Revolution, symbolized by people displaying blank papers to express their frustration over the lack of free speech. Regarded as the largest wave of student protests in China since the 1989 Tiananmen Square protests, this became the most extensive nationwide civil protest movement. In response to mounting pressure, the CCP abruptly rescinded the zero-COVID policy on December 7, 2022, triggering a nationwide epidemic outbreak and resulting in numerous fatalities. Don't forget to comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.